CEMTV News, Truth First, You Next. Stay informed to stay empowered. Good afternoon and welcome to CEMTV News at 12. I am Barisua Christian Winger. Let's take a look at the highlight. Governor Fubara appeals to parties to respect reconciliation process, says peace remains central to development. President Tinubu orders National Trade Assessment 5 years defense plan, and 13 killed in Kiev as Ukraine grapples with air defense shortages. Details of these stories and more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. We began the news from Rivers State, where the state governor, Similai Fubara, has commissioned Center for Vocational Skills, Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Building, School of Engineering Technology and Government Council Building at Elechi Madi Polytechnic Rumola. The governor urged students to protect the facility and make meaningful use of it for their future. Our correspondent now complete this report.
The commissioning ceremony, which held on Wednesday, attracted former and serving government officials, traditional rulers, members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, commissioners, permanent secretaries, local government council chairmen, women groups, principal officers, former deputy governor of Rivers State, Honorable Tele Ikuru, staff and students of the Polytechnic. The arrival of Governor Fubara and his deputy, Honorable Ngozi Odo, was greeted with songs, cheers, and expressions of support from guests at the venue. The chairman of the Governing Council of Captain Elechi Amadi Polytechnic, Honorable Evangelist Hope O. Ikiriko, described the institution as a pregnant woman ready to deliver a beautiful baby, while expressing appreciation to the governor and his deputy for attending the commissioning in person.
Your Excellency, today you have not only added one feather to your crown for the numerous projects you have actualized for the people of Rivers State. You have taken another bold step in sustaining the culture of revolutionizing development in Rivers State, as initiated by your worthy predecessor, our leader, the one and only Mr. Project of our time, and the current FCT Minister, Chief Minister Joseph Wike. And for this, we thank you, Your Excellency.
Governor Fubara, in his remarks, said his background as a teacher has deepened his commitment to education, stressing that government projects must go beyond construction to deliver positive impact on people's lives.
Us as a government, what is important to us is not just about embarking on projects, but projects that will touch the life, projects that will solve problems, projects that will bring advancements in our lives. I personally took it upon myself to say that if I have to do anything here, it should be something that will have value. And I'm very happy that the management of this school today, what is the purpose of the Entrepreneurial Center? It is a place where we prepare our own people. When you're through with that, you create your own business. You don't need to start sending letters. You don't need to start sending me texts that I promised 10,000 employment of civil servants. 10,000 employment of civil servants of who? And being officer. We're talking about technical issues. We need doctors, we need teachers, well-prepared teachers. If we employ, we need accountants. Accountants can't even be everywhere. Technology has taken over everything.
The governor said the new facilities were designed to provide a conducive environment for students to build strong educational and entrepreneurial foundations. He described the project as belonging to the Polytechnic and its students, urging them to protect and sustain the facilities so that future generations would benefit from the legacy left behind.
So if we have to prepare our youth, if we have to prepare our dear state, for the challenge ahead, our program has to be very strategic. So I have to say that I'm very happy that the little thing we're able to do here is really, really appreciated. I would also want to appeal to the school authority here. You also solved my problem when you said Rome was not built in a day. So therefore, borrowing from that, you know that all your requests I can attend to it. But the most important thing is that we have done something. We also try to see any other thing we can add to what we have already done for you. Very special NGA that gave me this opportunity. Maybe it's an opportunity for me to say thank you again. I will continue to be grateful for this wonderful opportunity you gave to me.
In his opening remarks, the chairman of Obiakpo Local Government Area, Honorable Gift Walu, recognized the dignitaries and other stakeholders at the event, assuring the governor that the Polytechnic would focus on producing job creators rather than job seekers.
What you have done shows that you really appreciate the times that we are in, a time when there is high levels of unemployment. This critical intervention, I believe, is aimed at ensuring that this Polytechnic stops from today to produce job seekers and will start to produce job creators.
The Honorable Commissioner of Education, Honorable Peter Nwagwo, appreciated the governor's impactful project, terming it as a clear testament to his commitment to providing sustainable infrastructure across the state.
I wish to sincerely appreciate you for your commitment to the timely release of funds for the completion of this monumental project. This project is a clear testament of your administration's unwavering commitment to providing quality education, improving learning facilities, and promoting sustainable infrastructural development across the state.
The rector of the Polytechnic, Dr. Moses S. Wiebe, said the commissioning covered 3 major projects and marks the first of such commissioning at the institution in about 2 decades. He noted that the Polytechnic, established in 1977, had passed through several developmental phases and expressed gratitude to the state government for the new projects.
To us, the benefits of these projects are enormous, as they have not only given a facelift to the fiscal environment, but has also increased our ability to meet infrastructural requirements for more academic programs, as well as to provide our students with conducive facilities for acquiring the much desired practical and technical skills. Our newly completed Government Council building has facilities for Government Council chambers, academic boardroom, and a conference hall, thereby providing us comfort while holding meetings and events of the Polytechnic in conducive atmospheres.
The commissioning therefore marks a significant milestone in the Polytechnic's development and the state government's efforts to strengthen skills and entrepreneurship development amongst young people. Speaking with Honorable Ezebunwa Chemati on the importance of the project, he stated that the governor does not just want the people of River State to enjoy the dividends of democracy on road constructions, but also in the aspect of education.
The governor is diversifying governance, and today you can see that we are in Captain Elechi Amadi's Polytechnic, where the governor has constructed the Senate building for the School of Engineering Technology, and other buildings to accommodate education here. It boils down to one thing: the governor wants the people of River State to not just enjoy dividends of democracy in road construction, but enhancing the educational quality of River State indigents.
The presence and activities of Vehicle Inspection Officer VIO on roads in Port Harcourt have continued to attract mixed reactions from residents, while some residents question the legality of VIO officers stopping motorists in and also River State. Practitioner Barrister Chris says the operations are guided by relevant laws and that the powers of VIO officers should be clearly understood by both the officers and the public. Our correspondent now completes the story.
No, madam, wait. I said, come out. I didn't do any other. I said, come out from the way. Let me back.
Here was not where we stopped her. There, before she even cleared, it took us time. Okay, finally, She cleared, okay, open the door, let me come in and see. So that we understand that I said she refused until finally
the way you were going up,
madam,
I am not feeling fine.
I
The way
can't
you're
stand
going
there
up,
because of
I said,
other
"Please come
vehicles.
out."
I can't stand there because of other vehicles. I have to turn.
The operations of Vehicle Inspection Officers (VIO) on Port Harcourt roads have generated mixed reactions among residents. Barrister Chris said VIO operatives on the relevant laws, adding that court orders restricting its activities in some parts of the country may not automatically apply to Rivers State. He explained that the primary duty of VIO is to inspect vehicles for roadworthiness and safety, including checking lights, horns, windscreen, and other vehicle components. He called for better training of VIO officers and public education on their responsibilities, stressing that officers who exceed their official duties should face disciplinary action.
Like the road safety, where you have a federal legislation that covers for federal roads the activities of road safety officers, safety calls, on federal roads. There was, of course, this issue whether officers of the road safety can function on state roads. I think that matter got to the Court of Appeal, where the Court of Appeal held that the activities of federal road safety call should be restricted to federal roads. So, besides federal road safety officers, there is a provision for VIO officers, that is vehicle inspection officers, made by Lagos State, Rivers State, I think Ogun State, and several number of states. The House of Assembly has made that provision for the operation of those officers. And then, of course, it dates back to the regional government, where regional governments had vehicle inspection officers. And then upon the creation of states, also different states, vehicle inspection, as it were, is something within the residual legislative list, which being, since it is not under the exclusive list and the concurrent list. Of course, the exclusive list are legislative matters in which the National Assembly can legislate upon exclusively. And then the concurrent list is matters where both National Assembly and the state houses of assembly can legislate upon. There is need for the monitoring of the activities to ensure that they are doing their job, right? And they are not going beyond the ambit, beyond the limit of their job as stated in their enabling law that established them, right? To make sure they do not cause citizens hardship, they do not, cause fright. Citizens are not even frightened to ply the road. They do not see that as a means to extort money from citizens. I think that that law, the House of Assembly, needs to look at that law. The business of lawmaking is a continuous process, right? There may be need to, review the law and see how they can better operate. There may also be need for proper, remuneration. How much are they paid, as officers, as members of that organization created by law.
Meanwhile, some residents questioned the authority of VIO officers to stop motorists for document checks, while others raised concerns that their activities could contribute to traffic congestion.
They're not supposed to be inside the town. They are supposed to be in the border. But since court has asked them to leave the road, they don't want to leave the road. They are causing obstruction in the road. If you go to water lines, you see them. They are water lines, Jerry Junction, causing obstruction everywhere. When they come, you see 20 of them, 15 of them with cane, stopping vehicle, asking vehicle for vehicle particulars, expiring tire, and all the rest. So they are not supposed to be inside the town. They are supposed to be in the border. And I heard that court has stopped them not to stay inside the town. But I see no reason why they are still inside the town. They are doing something. They are not supposed to be inside the town. If they want to walk, let them go to border. That's where they are supposed to be.
Port Harcourt residents have called on the River State government to urgently address the growing accumulation of refuse across the city, warning that poor waste evacuation and blocked drainages could lead to flooding and public health risk. On the national scene, President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate preparation of a comprehensive.
Barrister Gift Agbabu blamed the situation on inadequate waste collection points, lack of waste bins, and poor evacuation by the relevant authorities. He cited the railway area around Mile 1 beneath the fruit garden market as an example, saying the accumulated waste has created a strong stench and poses risk to residents and traders. Akpabo called for more waste trucks, additional personnel, and stronger sanitation measures, including a possible state of emergency on the environment. They further appealed to the government to clear the refuse and drainage channels, saying the situation worsens during rainfall and could contribute to flooding.
There are lots of factors responsible for the waste littered all over Port Harcourt. A lot of them ranging from lack of provision of waste bins, right? And then lack of designated waste points. So the government, the RIWAMA, that's River State Waste Management Agency, under the former administration used to make adequate provision for waste collection points. Right now, it does appear like those waste collection points have all been extinguished, or nobody can see them. So you see trucks parked at indiscriminate positions in Port Harcourt, and then people just throw waste anyhow. The Rwama administrator, and then of course the government of Sinala Ifubara, for obvious reasons, given the fact that the administrator, Dr. Wanosike, is a known ally of the former governor of River State, Chief Barrister Wike. So unless, of course, now that there seems to be a coalition between them, the Rainbow Coalition appears to have all come together. All the dramatists personnel that formed the Sinala's government appear to have come together under one Rainbow Coalition. So now we hope that everybody will sit up.
It's close to 2 weeks now, and it's not good to our health. They are aware better. I don't know what happened to their truck. It's just that they came, 3 days ago, and they packed half of it. But up to now, they have not packed all. And we need them to come and remove all those things. It's not good to our health. I've been complaining concerning this. I don't know what is happening. Please, our governor, Fubara, should do needful to make sure that it helps us. Because not even if I take you down to that place, I will take you so that you can see the place. Our drainage have blocked, and each time rain fall, it block our area, and there's been everywhere in Port Harcourt. It's not good. When other governors rule this state, I think we enjoy the state more than this. But now what is happening is not good. I can't lie to you.
The dustbin is affecting us. The flooding from the beginning of the street down to this area, you cannot pass when it rains. It rains very heavy and everywhere is completely flooded. Most of the buildings, especially the ones that are very low, the bad water, dirty water gets into the building. So we'll call on the government to see what the government can assist us here. We really need their help.
On the national scene, President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate preparation of a comprehensive national threat assessment and rolling 5-year strategic defense operations plan to strengthen coordination across Nigeria defense intelligence and security capabilities. A statement by his media aide, Bayo Onanuga, says President Tinubu gave the directive at the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House, Abuja, stressing the need for a coherent framework to respond to evolving security threats nationwide. The President's Special Advisor on Homeland Security Major General Adeyinka Famadewa says he will coordinate and provide secretarial support for the 11-man committee President Tinubu constituted to draft the Strategic Defense Operations Plan. The President said the new framework will provide a common understanding of the threat facing the nation, the operational objective to be achieved, and the capability required to address them. According to him, recent security successes, including the rescue of pupils and teachers abducted in Orire local government area of Oyo State, demonstrated the importance of improved coordination among defense, security, and intelligence agencies. Vice President Kashim Shettima has returned to the country from his 2-week leave, resuming 2 days ahead of his official scheduled return date of August 2026. The Vice President did not attend the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the President Bola Tinubu at the Council Chamber of the State House, Abuja. Shettima's early return coincides with the commencement of campaign on August 19 ahead of the 2027 elections, as announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Highly placed officials working with the Vice President confirmed the newsman that the Shettima returned to Abuja late Tuesday, August 18, 2026. The Vice President had, with the approval of the President, proceeded on the 2-week leave on August 6, 2026, his first since being sworn into office on May 29, 2023. The federal government has directed all ministries, departments, and agencies to stop processing payments for official foreign trips undertaken by government appointees without prior approval from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. A statement by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, to the Chief of Staff to the President, all ministries, ahead of civil service chiefs, heads of federal agencies, and chief executive of parastatals and government-owned companies directed that accounting officers, permanent secretaries, chief executive officers, and head of federal government agencies to ensure that no expenditure relating to official foreign travel by government appointees is processed unless the requisite office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation approve has first been obtained. The statement further mandated the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to make evidence of office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation approval a compulsory requirement when processing note verbally, diplomatic facilitation, and visa applications for government appointees traveling abroad. The statement enjoins foreign missions and embassies accredited to Nigeria to be formally notified that applications for official, diplomatic, or service visas by appointees should be accompanied by valid OSGF travel approval. And in education, the Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, says the uptake of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NEL Fund) is higher on the northern part of the country because students there have shown greater willingness to trust government initiatives. Oyedele said this in Abuja while presenting the federal government Nigeria Reform Scorecard, highlighting the impact of ongoing reforms across various sectors. He noted that the NEL Fund had provided significant relief to students, noting that beneficiaries were not only having their tuition fees covered, but were also receiving monthly stipend under the interest-free student loan scheme. According to him, the benefits of the scheme are significant and the current high inflation environment, effectively making the financial support similar to a grant for beneficiaries. Oyedele acknowledged that the scheme had recorded higher uptake in the North compared with the South, attributing the disparity partially to differences in public reception of government programs. And in politics, the national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, David Mark, has warned against the use of state institutions to manipulate the 2027 general election, insisting that the credibility of the poll must be non-negotiable. Mark has a caution against intimidation, violence, and other forms of electoral malpractice, saying ADC expected the next general election to be transparent, inclusive, peaceful, and free from interference. The former Senate President, who spoke in Abuja when he received a delegation of the International Publican Institute, which is in Nigeria, as part of its assessment of preparations for the 2027 election, explained that the integrity of the electoral process will be critical to determining whether Nigerians will have confidence in the outcome of the 2027 polls. He says reports indicated that no fewer than 30 people have been killed during the election, describing the development as representative and condemnable. On security matters, Inspector General of Police IGP Olatunji Disu has cautioned against ethnic or religious profiling, stressing that criminality has no ethnicity and terrorism has no religion. DC, who spoke while delivering the opening address at the Northwest Security Summit in Gusau, Zamfara State, calls for an intelligent-led, community-supported and coordinated regional response to insecurity. He urged stakeholders to focus on identifying, isolating, and bringing criminal networks, their sponsors, arms suppliers, informants, and facilitators to justice irrespective of background or affiliation. The summit, hosted by the Zamfara state government, brought together governors, traditional rulers, security chiefs, experts, development partners, civil society representatives, and other key regional stakeholders to deliberate on banditry, kidnapping, arms, proliferation, communal conflict, farmers' header, tension, and threat confronting the region. In his address, the IGP explained that no security agent, government, or institution can secure the Northwest alone and call for stronger intelligence sharing, interstate cooperation, coordinated operations, border security, community engagement, and effective early warning mechanisms. And in Africa, Liberia has charged the former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor with drug trafficking, money laundering, and related offenses in an investigation into an alleged transactional narcotics network. She is detained while attempting to leave the country, marking a major development in Liberia's drug crackdown. The Justice Ministry says Joel Howard Taylor, who served as Liberia's vice president from 2018 to 2024, was stopped while attempting to leave Liberia through Roberts International Airport and was taken to Liberia National Police Headquarters. She faces charges including the unlicensed importation, sale, distribution, and transportation of controlled substance, as well as criminal solicitation, facilitation, conspiracy, and money laundering, and will be tested through the legal process. Liberian authorities have also charged 3 foreign nationals in absentia over the alleged roles in the suspected narcotics network. On the foreign scene, at least 13 people have been killed and 40 injured in the latest Russian strikes targeting the Ukrainian capital. Ukraine's Prime Minister Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says as Kyiv continues to face a shortage of air defense missiles, apartment blocks and warehouses were struck across the city overnight. The State Emergency Service of Ukraine explained that while children's hospital and school were also damaged, the deaths were the result of a shortage of air defense missiles. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv they also rely on Western allies to supply, adding that as long as Ukraine does not have enough anti-ballistic, Russia will not seriously think about peace.
Overnight Thursday killed at least 12 people in Kiev as explosions echoed across Ukraine's capital throughout the night, local authorities said. According to Associated Press, at least 33 people were wounded, according to Ukraine's emergency service. The air raid alert remained active into the early morning hours Thursday. The strikes hit 12 locations across Kiev's Darnitsky, Sviatoshinsky and Solomiansky districts, damaging residential buildings, a medical facility and an educational institution. Emergency crews were at the scene and pulled people out from under the rubble. In Solomiansky district, the top 2 floors of a 9-story residential building were destroyed and fires broke out on other floors. People were also trapped in 2 residential buildings and a school shelter. Russia has intensified ballistic missile attacks on the capital to wear down Kiev's air defense stocks.
Still to come in the news, Niger UNICEF in 25 initiative to strengthen grassroots nutrition. Stay tuned for details of these in a moment. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. Now to the rest of the news stories. In business, African women-owned mining businesses have faced difficulties in accessing international market and investment due to poor business visibility, inadequate records, and weak compliance system. Industry stakeholders disclosed this at a webinar organized under the Mansa Awareness Initiative, a collaboration between Women in Mining Africa and the African Export-Import Bank, Afrims Bank. Executive Director Women in Mining Africa, Comfort Asokoro Ogachi, says businesses no longer rely solely on having quality product and customers to attract, but investors and international buyers explain that prospective partners increasingly needed verifiable information about business ownership, operations, financial capacity, and compliance before committing resources. Asokoro Ogaji noted that the inability of many small African businesses to provide such information are limiting their access to financing and new market identifier visibility, credibility, and compliance as major challenges facing women-led enterprises in the mining sector. The executive director also stressed the need for mineral traceability, particularly in the gold sector, as international markets increasingly demand information on the origin of minerals and adherence to environmental, social, and governance standards. In health, the Niger State Planning Commission, NSPC, in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has commenced the implementation of the 25 initiative, a state-level framework aimed at strengthening nutrition security and improving maternal and child health outcomes across the 25 local government areas of the state. The initiative is unveiled in Mine during sensitization and orientation meeting attended by the local government area chairman, director of personnel management, health officials, and other stakeholders. The 25 initiative is aligned with the broader N774 national framework and is designed to translate national nutrition priorities into coordinated, sustainable, and measurable intervention at the grassroots. Speaking at the meeting, the executive director of the Niger State Primary Healthcare Development Agency stressed the importance of nutrition service to effective primary healthcare delivery, covering both the prevention and treatment of malnutrition. He addressed that malnutrition requires a coordinated multi-sectoral approach involving the health, agriculture, education, and other relevant sectors. And in sports, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Sola Eneka-Lolaye, is among the high-profile dignitaries expected at the League of African Ambassadors fundraising golf tournament scheduled to take place in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. With preparation gathering momentum ahead of the tournament, Chairman of the Central Planning Committee, Ambassador Ben Okoye, confirmed that Eneka-Lolaye, a former career diplomat, will attend as one of the special guests. The tournament is also expected to attract prominent members of the Nigeria's diplomatic and political communities, including Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, and Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno. According to Okoye, the tournament is designed to go beyond the sporting contest, providing a platform for African diplomats, government officials, corporate leaders, and other stakeholders to engage on issues concerning the continent's development. He said the organizers expect more than 150 golfers, with overall participation projected at about 350 guests. And on entertainment, singer Brian Moore has accused his colleagues Two-Face, Burna Boy, and Davido of knowing about how he was lured to join a secret cult. Brimo made the allegation during a recent interview on a podcast. It came on 1 month after Brimo responded to Burna Boy's statement about his career. Responding to the statement, Brimo vowed to take revenge, noting that he doesn't care about the fraternity that Burna Boy belongs to. Finally revealing the course of the dispute, Brimo claimed that Burna Boy, Davido, and Two-Face were involved in how he was lured to Chevron in 2019 under the guise of being hosted and was pressured to join a cult. And that is it on CEMTV News at 12. But before we go, let's take a quick recap of the major stories. We started off by informing you that the River State Governor, Simlai Fubara, has appeared to political and also appeal to politicians to respect the reconciliation process, saying peace remains central to development. We inform you that President Tinubu has ordered the National Threat Assessment and 5-year defense plan. We also told you that 13 were killed in Kyiv as Ukraine grapples with air defense shortages. And we brought to you a report that the Niger State Governor and UNICEF has launched a 25 initiative to strengthen grassroots nutrition. Many thanks for watching CEMTV News at 12. Do ensure to follow us via social media handle at CEMTV Plus across Facebook, X, Thread, and Instagram. We're also available on Nicomsat channel 2 well to watch us on free to air. I am Barisua Christian Moika. Good afternoon. Do enjoy the rest of our broadcast and bye for now.